Are your sales reps drowning in a sea of deals? High-value deals get the attention, but those smaller deals are slipping through the cracks. Introducing Agentforce, AI-powered assistants that boost your sales team. In this episode of Automate with Agentforce, Chris Emmett shows how Agentforce helps rep engage in every opportunity without losing control. Recover those lost revenue, save time, and scale your sales. See Agentforce in action. Welcome back to Automate with Agentforce. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome and thanks for joining. I'm Jennifer Lee, Lead Admin Evangelist at Salesforce. And in this series, we're going to explore how powerful automation tools from Salesforce and MuleSoft can unlock the full potential of AI, including Agentforce. Joining me today is Chris Emmett, a 23-time certified Salesforce solution architect and overall AI and automation enthusiast. Chris has worked with companies facing this exact issue and will walk us through how Agentforce supports sales teams today. Welcome, Chris, to Automate with Agentforce.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to share today how AI has helped my clients enhance its sales process in a super practical and scalable way.
Great. Well, it's great to have you. All right, here's what we're going to cover today. Review a business challenge for managing high volume, low value deals. We're going to see how Agentforce keeps these deals engaged while keeping the sales team in control. We're going to see a live demo of Agentforce identifying and assisting with deal follow-ups. And lastly, we're going to learn some key takeaways on using AI to enhance the sales process. So Chris, you have a sales use case for us today that I'm sure many people will be able to relate to. So what's the challenge that your customer approached you with?
Thanks, Jen. So, my client is in the manufacturing industry. And like a lot of companies in the manufacturing industry and other industries, have to deal with high volume, low value deals. They have a finite sales team and a finite number of hours in the day to go through these deals. There's just far too many to keep on top. In fact, when we looked at the numbers, we figured that on average it would take about 5 minutes to find a deal within a list of these deals, 10 minutes to read the context, read any meeting notes, and to get up to speed with that deal, and then another 10 minutes to formulate the perfect email to engage with that customer in a meaningful way. So that's 25 minutes. Now, let's say a salesperson has 100 of these deals. 25 minutes adds up over 100. In fact, it adds up to a week, 40 hours, an entire work week to go through these deals. And that is not sustainable. And the result of that is that deals get forgotten about, deals get lost. It's lost revenue. So my customer asked me what we could do to close that gap. And we turned to Agentforce for this. Now, we had a few directives from the customer. Directive number one was Agentforce cannot be in control. The salesperson needs to be in control. They didn't want to hand over the sales process to a bot that would handle that deal from start to finish. The salesperson needed to be in charge of every single touch point. And effectively, they didn't want to reinvent the sales process. They didn't want to reinvent the wheel. They just wanted to make that wheel quicker. Now, with Agentforce and 1 hour of config, we were able to take these 25-minute pieces of work and reduce it down to 30 seconds. That's 40 hours of a work week dealing with 100 deals, getting that down to 50 minutes. That's a huge time saver on a scale that I have never seen in my career. And I'd like to show you exactly how that works. Here we are in Salesforce, a screen that we all know and love. We've got our homepage, and as you can see today, I don't have a lot of tasks on, which is good for me. I'll click over to my opportunities, and I can see that there's way too many opportunities for me to handle. I don't know which one is important for me to deal with. I don't know which one I should be concentrating on. Now, I could use list views and reports and other weird and wonderful ways to find the deals that I should be looking at. Or I can use Agentforce. So I'm going to do that right now. So I'm going to open up Agentforce and I'm going to ask Agentforce, show me the deals that I need to work on. And in this case, in this instance, those deals are called gold account deals. So I'm going to say, Agentforce, show me my gold account deals. Show me my gold account deals. And for this, I could say, show me my gold account deals, show me my gold deals. What are my gold account deals? I could use any variation as long as I'm including the phrase gold account or gold deals. Salesforce is going to understand that context and it's going to drive straight to a flow that I've created that brings back all of my gold account deals. And as you can see, it's brought back 3 deals that are important for me to look at. So let's go into one. So now I'm in the deal. I've shortened that 5-minute process of looking for that perfect deal down to 5 seconds because I've just asked Agentforce. So let's tackle the second half of that problem, reading the information on the opportunity and writing that email. We're going to get that down to 20 seconds. So I'm going to open up a new email and I'm going to make sure I put in the recipient of this email. So in this case, it is Jane Seymour. And I'm going to use Agentforce to write that email. Not only write that email, I'm going to use Agentforce to read the opportunity, find the important details, and write that email, again, in 20 seconds. So to do that, I'm going to hit draft with Einstein. And here I could ask it to write an email, or I can use one of my pre-made templates. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to use pre-made instructions, scroll all the way down to the bottom for my custom instruction, which is the Gold Account Opportunity Sales email. And I'm going to select the associated opportunity, which is Biospan Services 25K. And as I mentioned, it would take 10 minutes to read through all of the details, read through the meeting notes, bring myself up to speed with the context, and then another 10 minutes to write that email. But instead, Agentforce is going out, finding those details, sending it off to an LLM to write a suitable email, and here it comes back. And as you can see, it's, hi Jane, it's addressing the correct person. It understands that the opportunity is about case resolution within Service Cloud. It understands that the opportunity is valued at 25K and that it's got executive sponsor approval and that it's awaiting approval from an AI ethics council. It's read all of the detail, it's understood that context, and it's crafted the perfect email. But this is not just some sort of cookie cutter template. It's entirely contextual based on what is in the opportunity. So let me hop over to another opportunity and show you how a completely different context can result in a completely different type of email. So I'm going to go to AccuSage Services 100K. I'm going to fire up another email. And so this one is Jeff Daniels, possibly because I watched Speed really recently. I'm going to draft an email and I'm going to select the template, gold account. And this one was AccuSage 100K. And again, it's reading through that detail. It's saving me the time to read through that detail. And it's writing that email, again, saving me that time, taking that 20-minute piece of effort down to 20 seconds. And all I have to do is, once it pops up in a second, I just need to read it, proofread it, make sure I'm happy with it, make any tweaks if I want to, and I can send it. And as you can see, it's understood the context, it's understood the value, it's understood what they're wanting to do with this. It's a partner network for deal management and knowledge base. And it also understands that there's a note within this opportunity that says if they sign by the 23rd of May, they can get 10% discount on this project. It understands all of that, so I don't have to remember, and I can hit send. Again, this has taken a 25-minute process down to just a few seconds, saving a huge amount of time for the sales team so they can concentrate on the important deals and let Agentforce handle these high volume, low value deals to bring in that lost revenue. I also mentioned that this took 1 hour to build, and I'd like to show you exactly how. So this is built up of two primary components. It's built up of a flow, which finds the particular opportunities that we need to bring back, and it uses a prompt template to create the email. So I'm going to start by showing you the flow. So I'm going to go into setup, and I'm going to go into flow. And here we go. And at the top of the list, if the demo gods are smiling down on me, I can see my flow. So get my gold opportunities. And when it loads up, I'm going to close Einstein. Goodbye, Einstein. We can see a flow that is super simple. If you've got experience in flow, you'll obviously see that this is super simple. And if you are brand new to flow, I promise you that this is a nice, easy way to get into it. So it starts out with basically two pieces. We have a get records, which does exactly what it says. It gets records for us under particular circumstances. And I'm just going to click into this. So we've got our get records, which is a find open gold account opportunities. That's what it's called. And it's essentially bringing back all of the opportunities that fit a certain filter. So filter number one is that we want to bring back opportunities that have a gold account star rating. We want to find our gold account deals. This is how we filter that. But then we don't want to bring back every single one. We want to bring ones that are associated with me. I don't care about someone else's deals. I want to see mine. So we ensure that the owner of the opportunity is the user, the person running this flow will be associated with those opportunities. Therefore, they're getting back their opportunities. And we don't want to get opportunities that are in the past or 2 years from now. We want to get opportunities that are within the next 60 days. So we have a simple greater than and less than on the close date. So it's got to be greater than today, at least tomorrow. And it's got to be less than 60 days from now. So we're effectively looking for a 2-month period. So we're not bringing back too many opportunities. And then last but not least, we obviously don't want to bring back opportunities that are closed, lost, or closed won. So we'll make sure that we bring back open opportunities. And these 5 simple filters ensures that we're targeting the opportunities that need the attention. So we pull back these opportunities, the flow pulls back these opportunities, and what does it do with it? Well, it passes it on through this add prompt instructions. And it is the simplest thing. So all this element does is it takes the output of this element, which is going to be a list of records, a list of opportunity IDs, and it passes it to an agent. Passes it to Agentforce, and then Agentforce will take the next step. And I'm going to show you exactly what that next step is now. So let me leave this. And so we've got our flow, and our flow brings back a set of opportunity IDs. But obviously, that's not going to be a huge amount of use to us because we wouldn't know what to do with record IDs. So I'm going to go into our agent, into agents, Agentforce agents. And if you're looking at the screen and some things look different, be wary that Agentforce is under heavy development now. So some naming conventions may change, some tags may change, some best practices may change. So if you're trying to follow on the screen and it looks slightly different, don't worry. It's probably because things are always changing. So if you give things a little Google or even go to ChatGPT to find out what the new names are, I'm sure you'll be able to find it. Anyway, so I'm in the Agentforce agents list. I'm just going to go and open up my default agent. That's the employee agent that you'll see on the screen. And I'm going to go into Builder, and we'll see how that flow works with our agent. So we've got two topics here in our agents, and the first one is general CRM, and this is one that just comes with Agentforce, and it does a lot of cool little things, like it'll help you find records, or it'll help you write emails, or it'll help you update things or create tasks. But that's not what we want. We want to be able to handle our gold account opportunities. So for this, we created a specific topic, and I'm just going to click into that topic. And here you can see the topic's got a description. You know, we tell Agentforce what this topic is about. It's specifically about helping the user find their expiring opportunities. And the agent's only job, sorry, the topic's only job is to find opportunities for gold accounts. And this ensures that when the user asks a question, this topic isn't accidentally invoked. It's only invoked when the user wants to know about their gold account records. And down here, you'll see that we've got some instructions. And these instructions will, again, add a steer to the topic for the agent. And what you'll find is that sometimes you'll give instructions that say, under these circumstances, you want to do this. And what you'll see with my instructions is during the build, I encountered a few errors. So I added instructions that effectively circumvented those errors. You know, if you see this particular situation, do this, and then it ensures that we're not taking the user down the wrong path. So those are just a few intro bits to this topic. I did say that I was going to show you how we use this flow in this topic, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So the actions within this topic, and this is where we're using our flow. We've got a flow here called get my gold account opportunities, so an action that invokes our flow. If you recall, this is exactly what our flow was called, and it brought back those opportunities, and it sent that list of opportunities to the agent. And this is exactly what this action is doing. It's pulling back those records, and it's grabbing that list. Now, on the right-hand side, the output, you can see here that I'm actually instructing this action what to do with that list. Because when that flow returns the list of record IDs, it's just going to be a list of record IDs, just a bullet pointed list. And who wants to take that list, copy the record ID, paste it into the URL? Even if they know how to do that, it's not particularly user friendly. But within these instructions, I do something that makes it user friendly, because I'm telling this action, once it's got that list of record IDs, you need to pass it into another action called query records. And query records is an out of the box action that allows Salesforce to present records in a nice user friendly way. Now, if you recall when I showed the demo a few minutes ago, and I ran the action to get my gold deals, it pulled back a list of user-friendly opportunities, and I could click on that list. It didn't give me a list of record IDs. I was able to click, it was interactive. And query records action is the action that brings that list, brings it to life, so it's interactive. So this is the first part. This is the entirety of the first part. And this alone took maybe 20 minutes to build. I needed to build the flow so I could bring back the opportunities. And then I needed to plug it into this topic with this specific action. And then once I'd done it, it all worked. And if I typed it in here, it would bring it back. But obviously, there's two parts to this. There's the getting the opportunities, and the second part, the just as important part, is writing that email. And to do that, I used a prompt template. So I'm going to show you exactly how that is done now. So I'm just going to exit the agent builder and go over to my prompt builder. And as you can see here, out of the box, you get a huge amount of pre-built templates that you can use, that you can jump on. Now, mine in particular is tailored towards my need. So I'm going to jump into this one. And once it loads, I will scroll all the way to the top. So this looks like there's a lot here, but I promise you there is not a lot here. In fact, this top part, um, will give you everything that you need, more or less. I'm telling the prompt that it's an account executive. I'm telling it the company it works for. I'm telling it that it needs to check in with a customer for the opportunity and to check to see if it's still valid. And I'm giving it the close date, and I'm telling it create an email that allows me to check in. And that would do a perfect job. And it did. But as I created this and then I started to test, I noticed that the results weren't quite what I wanted. So I added extra instructions. So here we've got start the message with hi, and then the first name of the contact, because before it would say dear sir or dear madam or dear Mr., the full name, and it was quite robotic, quite impersonal. Obviously, this is the sales email, so you want to make it quite personal. So I added an instruction to make it more personal. Now, another piece is you'll see that I've included the opportunities close date, and I've made reference to today's date. And I found that the template was often just dumping in today's date in a very robotic way, again, saying, as you know, today's date is May the 1st. And it's like, you don't want that in an email. So I'll add a line that says, do not explicitly write today's date, and so on and so forth. I was able to build this up, iterate, and just tweak it until I got the perfect email. So with just 1 hour of config, we were able to take an agent from the concept to ready to be tested. It's such a low cost of development. We're able to recover lost revenue in a real way because of these high volume, low value deals that the sales team could not keep on top of. It was a huge time saver and a huge money saver. And because of the low effort of building this, and because it's such a small implementation, it is a great jumping off point for my client to get into Agentforce, to jump into AI. And it's a great jumping off point for anyone to get into AI as well. And on that, thank you. Back to you, Jen.
That was an absolutely brilliant presentation. You've perfectly illustrated how Agentforce empowers sales teams to conquer those high volume, low value deals with such simplicity. I mean, it's really refreshing to see that impactful solutions don't need to be really complicated. And sometimes it's the most straightforward approach that really delivers those big wins. So thank you so much for joining us today on Automate with Agentforce.
Thank you.
Today, we explored with Chris's help how Agentforce helps sales teams stay on top of those high-volume, low-value deals without adding to their workload. AI-powered follow-ups keeps those deals moving while the reps maintain full control. Ready to unlock this level of AI-powered efficiency for your own teams? Well, head over to the admin website and do a deeper dive into Chris's fantastic accompanying blog. And we'll be back next month for another exciting episode of Automate with Agentforce, bringing you even more ways to revolutionize your workflows. Until next time, keep automating and keep elevating.